I feel like I'm one of a team, and I've got a particular role in a team.
Mm.
I hate the thought of people following me. I'd much rather they followed the purpose and the cause and the vision
Yeah.
and what we're here to do.
Hello. Welcome back to Cyber Sisters. I'm Shayla.
And I'm Roha.
And we're here giving you the realness behind what happens in the cybersecurity industry, preparing you
For women.
and preparing you for the work life in the corporate world.
Yes.
And today we have someone amazing coming to speak to you and to us, giving us all advice about how to navigate our careers and what to expect when you're entering the world of.
If you aren't blown away by the end of this, then I don't know for you.
I literally do not know. This person has 3 decades of industry experience spanning from government, finance, retail, you name it. So he is someone you're going to want to be speaking to.
He is the person you want on your side during this career. He is here to support women on their journeys.
I think one of the reasons I chose this person to come on today is because he's helped me personally in my career. And I've heard a lot of men say I'm an ally and in supporting women.
Tick box.
But it's just a tick box.
It is.
But this person actually does it. You see it in his leadership team. When I started working with him, 50% of his leadership team were women.
That's great.
And just the fact that I've felt supported throughout my career whilst working with him has said everything I needed to know. So I'm gladly here to present Jonathan Lloyd White.
Hello. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the nice introduction.
No, thank you for joining us. We have been looking forward to this. I think our viewers have been looking forward to this. So we just really, I think, want to take the time out to get to know you, help the women starting out, help the women already in the industry, and I think just get us all in a position to believe that we could one day be a CISO like yourself, and go from there, really.
Yeah. So Jonathan, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Yes, who's
That's an open question, isn't it? You're right. Well, I'm a CISO, as you say, as a job, but I'm more importantly a husband and a dad, regular guy as far as I'm concerned. So
He's
a
not
real
regular.
pleasure to be here. A real pleasure, and I'm so honoured to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. I think now that we know that you're a dad and you are a husband, how do you think that's actually helped you in your career?
Oh, hugely. I mean, your work-life balance is everything, isn't it? And I couldn't have got anywhere without the support of my wife and now my kids. It's the bedrock. It's the foundation for how you work in the world. So we all need people around us to support us, whether it's family or friends, and that's what gets you through the day. It allows you to switch off and go and do something else and be someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I agree with that because without the support of my family,
100%.
I would not be in this field.
No.
I wouldn't even.
We'd have given up a long time ago.
Yeah, we would have given up.
Yeah.
Because you have your hard days. I think in any career, you have your hard days. But family is number one. So it's good to hear.
And it's nice to hear someone in a position like yourself, and you've got a team you manage, you're a leader, but you don't forget your family and you don't forget the purpose. And we see so many people, so many leaders who forget that element, and then their job becomes their life.
Yep.
Yes.
Live to work or work to live, isn't it? That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Definitely work to live. That's the right way around.
Oh, I want to know something. I've never asked you this, but what does a day in the life of Jonathan consist of? You practically have 3 roles. You're juggling being a dad, being a husband, and being a CISO of a global brand. What does a day in your life look like?
I guess no 2 days are the same is the first thing to say, obviously. But normally what happens is I waking up 5:30ish.
Okay.
Get up early. My daughter and I then go for a run at 6:10, something like that. Been doing that for the last year, which has been great. I usually check my phone straight away, see what's happened overnight, see if there's any alerts, anything come in that I've missed overnight. particularly when we had Australia as part of our group, working around the clock, really.
So you don't check your phone throughout the night then? No.
It's on. It has to
Yeah.
be on all the time, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, even when on holiday, my work phone's on forward to my personal phone. So
Okay.
you've got to be ready, as it
Yeah.
was last week
Yes.
for a big issue. We'll talk about that later, maybe. But so you're always on, but you get used to that. I've always been on duty all my career, really. So never off. And then I'm either working at home. I either start work 7:15, 7:30 at home, sit at my desk,
Yeah.
and I'm there then for 10, 12 hours, basically, doing meetings.
12 hours.
You're
Yeah.
working all that, and then you still have time for everything else.
Yeah, you've got to, don't you?
Yeah.
So,
Make the
yeah.
time.
That's actually quite amazing. You
No,
don't
it's
see
quite
that.
amazing.
But this week I've been into the office every day this week, which has
Yeah.
nearly killed me because I haven't done 5 days a week in the office.
We talk about remote working
Yeah.
quite a lot
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We appreciate it. I think it allows us all to have that balance.
Yeah.
I think it supports us all in doing, like yourself, those
Yeah.
3 roles, trying to be a good friend, trying to be a good family member, and then being great at work. And I think that definitely
And
allows us to
look after yourself as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
have self-care.
So, Jonathan, what does being a leader actually mean to you? We see many people in these leadership positions, and it looks like they're just there for the money. So, what does it mean to you?
Yeah. Well, I thought about that.
So
I guess what I would say is that I weirdly don't consider myself to be a leader, really. I'm just me.
That's what leaders say, though, right?
Well,
we
maybe
all
so.
say that.
But I'm nobody different, I don't think, at work than I am at home. Really, I just try and be the best me that I can be everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I suppose what it means in a workplace situation is I feel like I'm one of a team, and I've got a particular role in a team. I hate the thought of people following me. I'd much rather they followed the purpose and the cause and the vision
Yeah.
and what we're here to do.
Mhm.
And I've got a role to play in that, and everybody's got a role, and we're all equal in a sense. So that's how I approach it. Shelley will tell you this. I always think about leadership in terms of balancing 3 things at once.
Mhm.
You've got to think about the task,
Okay.
but don't get obsessed with the task.
Mhm.
You've got to think about the team,
Yeah.
but don't get obsessed with the team. And you've got to focus on individuals.
Okay.
So I balance those 3 things at any one time. And I try and spend as much of my week as possible talking one-to-one with
Mhm.
people,
Yeah.
and supporting them and finding out about them, being genuinely interested in them,
Yeah.
about their work, about their family, and about what's going on, but also how they then interact with everybody around them.
Yeah.
And the thing that I get most value from in work is seeing the team working well together. That's
Mhm.
what gives me my
Yeah.
buzz.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
But then you've got to think about the task. And
Yeah.
our particular task is cyber. It could be anything, to be
Mhm.
honest. And I've done lots of different jobs. Come to cyber quite late in my career. So
Okay.
I've been in cyber for about 10 years.
Oh, okay. So we get messages from people saying, "Is it too late?" So
No,
not
it's
never
not too
late.
late. No,
Yeah.
quite the opposite, I think,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done loads of crazy things in my career.
Oh, you have to tell everyone the story.
Which one?
The one, I would say actually there's a couple, but the one, I think, was it your first time going into work and they had you traveling abroad on the
Yeah.
defense job?
Yeah. Oh, could be that job. So when I used to be a customs officer.
That's it.
Yeah, so I used to be a customs officer. So I started my career when I left university as an admin assistant. It's the lowest grade in the civil service. It's not even admin, it's an admin assistant.
Oh wow.
And my job when I first turned up to work was to order paper, order stationery, clean the ashtrays out of the cars,
Wow.
'cause they all smoked, because that's how old I am, and fill the cars up with petrol when they got back from the betting shop. That was basically my job. So
I could do that.
you could do that, yeah.
Live my dream.
But I earned a pittance, so it actually cost me to go to work.
Wow.
But it was the first job I could get, so that's where I started in my career, and sort of developed from there. But yeah, I've done lots of crazy things, not just that. And yeah, sorry, to your question, first days at work. So I would turn up for work on a Monday morning, all smart looking, professional as I could, and I might not come home for 2 weeks because we'd go off chasing drug smugglers around Europe.
Yes. Was that in the job description then?
Yeah, kind of. But, you don't turn down that sort of opportunity. So no.
Definitely.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, going? You said you went to like South France, or you were in France.
Yeah, drove
chasing-
all over France, chasing people. Yeah, did the
Wow.
surveillance.
I can just imagine you running.
Yeah, no, in cars. Yeah. So no, I'm very lucky. All the things I've done.
I
Amazing.
had a question. I had this question prepped because I've been watching you now for a couple of years, and I think you're a great leader
In a non-creepy way.
in a non-creepy way, in a very non-creepy way. I'm like, how do you? I've been watching him lead. Okay.
Okay.
And I genuinely, I've worked with quite a few CISOs now, and I think, I don't know what it is, but there's something that makes you special because people can relate to you and they listen.
Yeah.
So I think the question here is more around like, what is your secret sauce, Jonathan? Like,
I've no
what is
clue.
it?
I think he cares. He genuinely cares.
I do.
Like he just said that he gets to know people on an individual basis. How big is your team, Jonathan?
Not that big. So at the moment, I've got 36 permanent staff and around 30 contractors.
That's big.
And it's global.
And
But
that-
there was more than that.
There
It's
was.
because we shrunk.
Yeah.
So the company sold off parts of the brand, and
But that's still a lot of people
Yeah.
to connect with
Mm.
Yeah.
on top of your day job, on top of being a dad, on top of being a husband. So you care.
That's where you put your energy.
Yes.
That's where I put my energy
Yeah.
a lot of the time. And you know, if I have one-to-ones booked, I rarely cancel them because that's the priority for me. Fair?
never cancels.
No. unless there's something really critical.
Yeah, or he's away. And if you do cancel, it's always much more, it's in advance.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm trying
I
to
always
defer.
know in advance.
I am yet to meet someone who does that though at a leadership position.
Yeah,
So that's really impressive.
that's the job though, isn't it? So I don't do anything. My job is to help everyone else be great at what they do.
Yeah.
That's got to be the job,
And that's what makes a leader, guys.
hopefully.
I like the next question. Do you feel like you've reached your goal? CISO for me,
Was it even his goal though?
was it a goal?
No, it wasn't my goal at all. No. So I'll tell you another story.
Oh,
So I don't know. So, I mean, at the start of your career, you're just progressing. You're moving on through your job. So, well, I'll tell you a bit about my educational background.
Okay.
So I've got an English degree
Mhm.
and love doing English literature. And then went on to do a master's in a subject called critical and cultural theory, which is all about how people read texts. We never read anything independently of the position that you're reading them from.
Okay.
So you read it from a male perspective without even realizing, or a female perspective,
Yeah.
or a Marxist perspective, or a psychoanalytic perspective. So my master's was all in studying how you are, how you think, and how power works in society. So I did,
interesting.
yeah, it's really interesting. And I did my dissertation in surveillance and how societies use language and conversations and discourse to generate power. So that's what my background is. So I brag about having a master's in feminism, and in a way I have. So I studied under, leading feminist thinkers in Europe.
Wow.
So that's my background. Slightly.
That doesn't just say it, he's doing it.
That is amazing.
So I've got that background. So that's kind of where I get my passion and interest for thinking about things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
And when I'm in, I'm a meeting room, as I was yesterday, 30 people in a room. One side is the women, they're all lawyers and top consultants.
Yep.
And on the other side of the room is all the cyber blokes and the procurement blokes in their black t-shirts and, looking
Hoodies.
scruffy.
Yeah.
Not,
We know the
not to caricature. And I sit there screaming inside because I can see the women starting to talk and then the men talking over them.
Wow.
Drives me insane.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key things I always try to do without kind of, it's very difficult, but without patronizing the women in the room by speaking for them and saying, I suggest you now speak.
Yes.
What I'm trying to do is find ways of being the person in the room that is an ally
Yeah.
without being part of the problem. As in, it's not my job to give the power away.
Yeah.
It's not my job as a man
Yes.
to reach down and help the women.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the trap. So I see my job as more about being the check and the balance best I can
Okay.
to kind of push the men out of the way. And if the women went to step into that space, that's fine. If they don't, that's up to them.
Yeah.
But that's the tricky balance I try to
Okay.
strike.
But you said that like you're in a meeting room and this happened, and so how do you address a situation like that where you're seeing, as an ally in a room, you're seeing your male colleagues or people who work in your team are behaving in a way that's not like inclusive?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Two things. Modeling.
Okay.
So I try and model the behavior that I want
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, that's big. That's huge.
So I can try that when I'm chairing meetings or I'm managing meetings, is
Yeah.
small bits of body language
Yeah.
can help me
Mm.
quietly, gently shut the men up and
Okay.
open the space up for other
Mm.
people in the room that want to speak.
Okay.
And it's not a gender thing necessarily. It could be about any sort of young people
Yeah.
or old people or whatever it is in that way. And the other thing is through formal training. So we've run a really good course with my leadership team all about diversity
Mhm.
and in particular gendered language. So this
Okay.
is my passion. I'm really passionate about the way in which language is a way in which society polices itself and manages women into certain roles and manages men into other roles. So for me, being self-conscious about the way in which, as a leadership team, we talk about the genders in the room or about the race in the room or whatever it might be, that self-consciousness is a real powerful tool to stopping unhealthy behavior.
So
Absolutely.
I just have a question. Like, so do you think cybersecurity, the language you use, is gendered, one-sided? Like,
Completely.
really?
And I've given talks on this as well. I
Yeah.
think it's really
Okay.
interesting. So, one of the things that we might talk about is why aren't there more women in cybersecurity?
Yeah.
And I think personally it's because some of the language that we use is that kind of traditional caricature male language. So if you think about it, we talk about kill chains,
Yes.
attack surfaces, weaponization,
Penetration testing.
penetration.
Yeah.
Exactly. We talk about malware, viruses, ransomware, extortion. Now, they're not male words,
Yes.
but culturally we associate that kind of
Language.
violent language with a male domain.
Yeah.
So if I'm a woman looking in at that and I'm reading about kill trains and penetration testing and weaponization, all that, it's alienating,
Absolutely.
subconsciously alienating.
So interesting.
I haven't even thought
Amazing.
about that.
Well, and you're the first person who's I'm having this conversation with.
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's important, isn't it? It's really, really important. And I try to imagine a cyber. So it's not a domain where physical strength plays any part.
Mm.
So there's absolutely no biological, physical reason why
Why
it
women
shouldn't be
couldn't.
completely parity.
Yeah.
But we use a language that is militaristic.
Yes.
It's violent.
Yeah. Scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's designed to kind of big up
Yes.
the physicality of the fight between cyber criminals and us good people on the other side. It doesn't have to be that way. We could find a different language for talking about
No,
cybersecurity.
absolutely.
We could talk about protecting people and caring for people, and and that would probably
I give it a language
Yeah.
and try to use.
Yeah.
Really, I know it's genuinely interesting.
Very interesting.
I've not thought about that, but now I'm looking back, even us starting our careers in cybersecurity, we almost fell into it. It wasn't
Yeah.
something we grew up saying, I want to be
Yeah.
that, or I want to be in tech.
Yeah.
So
Because tech was always associated with men.
with men.
Like the role that I first started off was security awareness and culture, and that was seen as obviously you're going out, you're telling people to protect themselves, look after your families, look after yourselves, look after the company's data, and that was always seen as a feminine role.
And then role it
And
still is.
someone actually once said to me, you need a more respectful role in cyber, because that was considered to be the softer thing, not really that important.
I remember when
But
I
what's
was
more important than
Mhm.
protecting people,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, okay. Really, some real good food for thought.
so genuinely interesting.
So you asked me whether I'd reached my goal. I haven't answered your question.
You have not answered our question.
So I started by telling you about how I started in my career. And as you could tell, I kind of went from university into this job that I just fell into. Happened to be a brilliant job. I loved being in that world of customs and car chases, and felt like I was doing something really honourable in terms of stopping drugs coming into the country. You know, it's a good thing to do. Stopping crime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. But then I got on a fast track scheme. I went to work in headquarters, and I was given the job of writing the UK's drug strategy for stopping drug
That's a
smuggling.
big
Big
job.
job, just gave it to me.
Just from admin, like assistant.
Not quite. A few
Okay.
steps on the way. They're not that
Okay.
many. So not that many steps. No, I went to become a drugs intelligence officer.
Oh wow.
Worked a little bit in HR. I
Nice.
became what was then called an equal opportunities officer
Wow.
as a part-time job. Just took that opportunity because I wanted to, support diversity right back in the day. So I went from the customs to writing a drug strategy, and my world fell apart at that point
Okay.
because I suddenly realised that trying to stop drugs coming into the country is kind of futile. You've got to stop it at source. You've got to stop. You've got to stop the demand, not the supply.
Yeah.
So I went and did lots of other things. Then I never had the role of CISO in mind at all. So I was actually the head of data analytics for HM Revenue and Customs. I was managing 300 staff doing quants and quals analysis. Brilliant job. And I was in China, bizarrely,
Okay.
giving a talk to the Chinese tax authority. Back then, there's over 1 million people work in the Chinese tax authority.
Wow.
It's huge, it's just mind-boggling. And I was giving talks about risk management. And I had a phone call at 2:00 in the morning from the boss of HM Revenue Customs. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, Jonathan, sorry to waken you up. We've been looking for a new head of security, but we can't find anybody we can afford or who is any good. Please, would you do it?
Well, that's flattering, isn't it?
Thanks very much. So of course you think about it, and I thought, well, it's a big challenge. Why not give it a go?
Amazing.
So I took on the role of basically CISO for HMRC, with no real knowledge about cybersecurity at all. And I remember, to my great shame, asking one of my colleagues, "What does this 3-letter acronym stand for?" iOS. He went, "Oh my goodness. Okay, we got a challenge here."
Yeah.
So I basically did that job for 4 years, survived, led a team of 120 people, grew into a great, powerful unit,
Wow.
had a brilliant time, loved it, but felt like it was time for me to get out of government after 20 years of doing different jobs. So I took a risk and left and went to the finance sector. So I never saw myself as a CISO. It kind of landed on me. But for me, cybersecurity is the best thing in the world. It's fantastic. It really is exciting because you get to play with everything
Everything.
in the business.
And there's so many different opportunities,
much to do.
roles,
Yeah.
so much to do.
I don't think people realize how big it is.
Yeah.
And when we've had our mentorship sessions, we've spent so long just talking about like
Roles.
2% of the roles.
Yeah.
And we're like, there are hundreds of
Yeah.
roles.
Exactly.
And I don't think people realize. And you've literally told us your journey, and you've said like, you just fell into cyber. The amount of women and people that reach out to us and say, "I've never done cybersecurity before. Can I get in? Can I get in?" That's one of the biggest questions we get asked.
Question we get.
This is your example. You can. He's a leader. He's a powerhouse, and he started off with nothing.
No
and he
experience.
learned from scratch.
Yeah.
And you learned at a level up there, and that's
It
crazy.
can be done.
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be. That's really inspirational.
Good.
Very much so. I am also interested in, so what is the goal? If you haven't reached the goal,
Yeah.
Well, so
Is there a goal?
is there a goal?
I'm not
Yeah,
a big
that's a
fan
good
of goals.
question.
My wife and I give talks to people that are just about to get married. And one of the things that we coach is around the difference between goals and values.
Okay.
And people that are very goal driven
Yes.
tend to reach the goal and then think, "Oh, well, I'm not really interested in that goal."
Yes.
I always think of greyhounds racing around the track. And when they catch the rabbit, their career is over because they're finished. They know it's not a real rabbit anymore. So I always think about it in terms of values. And I've never had a career goal like that. I've always just been super lucky in going from one thing to the other. So I think about it in terms of values. And we've worked on this, haven't we? We've talked a lot about values.
I remember her telling me.
It's so important. It's more profound. It's more fulfilling. It's more rewarding to think about what your core values are. And in cybersecurity, values are really important. People that are only motivated by money and outcomes probably maybe a sweeping generalization, but probably don't have the core values of integrity and trust
Yeah.
and relationships and whatever it is that
And
make a good cyber.
those values are like, where you said you get to a goal and that's it, you're done. But
Mhm.
with values, you never get to a point where you're like, I am the value now, because there's always room for self-improvement. And I've actually learned that. I've learned that because all my life I'm like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then I got to a point, I was like, now what do I do with my life? And then when I actually focus on what is it that I want to do in this world and what change do I want to bring into this world, the thing is that's a journey that's ongoing for the rest of your life.
Totally.
And that's never going to end. And you're never going to look back and be like, yeah, okay, I have integrity now. I don't have to do that anymore. I can move on to something else. You keep going.
Yeah.
And you keep being the better version of yourself. And then you empower everyone around you. And I think that's really powerful.
Yeah.
That values conversation that we once had is one of the reasons why we are sat here today doing Cyber Sisters.
Wow.
Because I was going through a point of, I don't know what I'm doing with myself.
I've been there.
What is
before.
going on?
Yeah.
I'm happy some days, but I'm not happy some days.
Yeah.
I'm in a good, I almost plateaued. I'm here, but is
Now-
this all I want to be?
Where's the meaning?
Where's the meaning?
Yes.
So I had this conversation with you.
Yeah. That's
And
when we actually connected recently, where we really bonded, where I was like, I am not happy and you weren't happy, and we don't know what to
can we do?
Yeah.
We
What
need
are
to
we
make a
doing to make a
difference.
change? Yeah.
So just going back to your point, the value, I think understanding what your values are key to being successful in life.
In
your own
anything.
life.
Yeah. In your career, in
Yeah.
any walks of life, your marriage, your relationships with others. Yeah, it's really powerful.
Mhm.
Really powerful.
Oh, we got deep there, didn't we?
Did.
Should we
Love
do
it.
something fun? Should we move on?
Yeah, let's do something fun.
We're going to line up the mood a little bit. And we're going to ask you, Jonathan, questions that women get asked all the time.
Excellent.
And the idea behind this activity is to get your reaction and to actually see what you would do to deal with it. Because, sometimes women were just like, oh. So I want to know what you would do. Okay, so first question. Are you planning on having kids anytime soon?
Great question. I'm not, no, because I've got a really interesting career and I'm now 53 and I've already got 2 children. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But it's a really relevant question to cybersecurity. Thanks.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right.
Snappy, I like it.
I did notice when you came in the room something different. Did you do something to your hair?
Well, I came here on a bike, so it's maybe a bit windswept, But again, I'd love to chat about my hair, but actually what's more important is probably our careers and our future in cybersecurity.
I'm sure everyone wants to know what you did to your hair, so get on a bike.
But so Jonathan, have you lost weight?
I haven't actually. I've been the same weight since I was 18.
Okay.
Next question.
Nice.
That's an interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
So I love what you're wearing today.
Thanks.
Tell us where did you get the inspiration from?
So I got my jeans out of my jeans drawer, and my shirt out of the wardrobe, and my underpants out of the underpants drawer.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Just where you think you'd find her. You look tired today. Is everything okay?
It's great, thanks. Yeah, I had a banging night last night. Really good fun. I won't share it now, though.
All right.
So, Jonathan, globally, women make up just over 20% of the global workforce. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's shocking, isn't it? It's just inexplicable in a lot of ways. We're missing out on so much potential.
Oh yeah, you
That's-
are. Trust me.
That's
I would DMs are telling you.
That's right, exactly, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've got to think about it in terms of root causes. What causes that? We talked a bit about language that we use in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
You got to look at career paths into cybersecurity.
Yes.
You've got to look at the pool of people that we draw on from cyber. Very often IT, which is also very underrepresented
Yeah.
for women as well. So yeah, it makes you sick, to be honest. We've got to do something about it, haven't we?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that shocks me as well is the fact that women come in as quickly as they come in, a lot of them leave.
Mm.
And there's so much more companies could be doing.
Yeah.
From I think maternity leave in some places, and this is globally. It's not just a UK issue. I think UK is actually quite good in most companies. It's about being flexible and supporting.
But also making them feel heard, and like the microaggressions we referred to earlier.
Absolutely.
Don't talk over women when they're speaking. Give them a voice and give them that ability to be able to be themselves.
Mhm.
And I think even in my career, so many times I've had to put that side of me, lock
Good
it away,
Yeah.
and then be another person for work.
Yeah.
Because so many times I just don't fit in. Like people that I've previously worked with have liked to talk over things in a pub. I don't drink and I don't like that environment. And it's just, and you can't even like, it feels like you can't change it.
No.
We like, what can we do, Jonathan? You tell us actually, what can we do as women and what can you do as a male ally to change things?
Wow, you could start a podcast and make
Yeah.
it talk about it, couldn't you? And talk about
Five
it.
is
Yeah, yeah.
plug
Yeah, and I think you're doing great. Everything you're doing around supporting people at the start of their career. Think about, giving them knowledge and information about what's going on in the world at
Yeah.
that moment. That's brilliant. That's a really strong start. I think we could change their language. I think we can challenge in the workplace when we see those little microaggressions.
Yeah.
And we could talk about, changing career paths so that it's more flexible around, different lifestyles
Yeah.
and different stages of life as well. There are some parts of the cyber career that you really wouldn't want to be in
Yes.
if you've got a young family.
Yeah, it's true.
You're on call,
Yeah.
you're on shift
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't fit with that particular phase of your career. But as we said earlier, there are a huge range of different
So many.
things within cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Everything from sort of psychology to data analytics to, operational work,
Yeah.
to strategy, to roadmaps, to risk management. So much in that career.
Mhm.
We must be able to flex our career paths around people's lives and the stages that they are in their lives.
Yeah.
I think that's what we try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone's got to do it.
So, Jonathan, a question that I think a lot of our viewers may want to know. It's a difficult one. But do you think being a man has made your career easier in any way?
Yes, undoubtedly it has.
Yeah.
But the really telling thing is that I'd never think about it because it's just natural. It's just normal. It's an expectation. Of course, it's easy
Yes.
because I'm a man. I'm a white guy. I'm middle class. I've got degrees.
Tick all the boxes, don't
I've got a kind of neutral accent.
Mm.
I've got the support of my wife and my family. I've got it all,
Yes.
basically. But because of all of that, I just assume everyone's got it.
Yeah.
I just assume that everyone's got the same level playing field, and it's just as easy for everyone as it has been for me.
Did you ever get to a point in your life where you realized actually that's not the case, or like did you ever how did that happen? That realization.
That realization.
Well, as I think I've always had that realization
Okay.
because I've got that education and background to
Yeah.
teach me about that privilege and that.
So that's
sense
come
of
from your
respect.
parents or your family?
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
and from my degree, my education.
Yes, okay.
So that self-awareness about how lucky I am
Yeah.
in life to have all those privileges, but they are invisible to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem, isn't it? A lot of the men just assume everyone's got that and don't see the problem.
Yeah.
Why are there no women here? I don't know.
But they don't even realize
Don't
they
even
don't realize that's
realize
the conscious bias thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Spot
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give your younger self, and then linking to that for people trying to break into the cyber industry, for women trying to break into the cyber industry?
So I've been really, really lucky in my career. So I wouldn't actually give my younger self any advice because kind of life just comes along. I did a job for maybe a year or two too long. Maybe should have moved a bit sooner, but that's no big deal. Still had a good time. So I'm not very good at kind of regretting what's happened and reflecting on it.
Okay.
So, but the one bit of advice that I've had that I'd love to sort of convey is around taking some risks with
Okay.
your career. So I always remember someone saying that to me right at the start, and I didn't really understand what it meant. But as opportunities come along, I had that ringing in my ears, and I always thought, okay, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
So when I get called up in the middle of the night and someone says, will you become the head of security? The first thought is, are you kidding? I can't do that. I've got no experience. And you go, no, well, okay, if they've got faith in me, maybe I should have faith in myself. So that's it. And take big chances. in a way, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe you're not very good at it, so move on. Nothing's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd always say, take the risk, take the chance. What's the worst that could happen? That's the best advice I can give, to be honest.
Would you advise to do that as early as possible in your career or at any point?
Take the chance all
Okay.
throughout.
All
So I took the risk of becoming an equal opportunities officer in addition to my day job as part of the civil service. It was an advert, a job advert in work, and I thought I'll take that. It was only other women applying for that role, but I went for that, and it was one of the best things I ever did. They taught me coaching skills and active listening skills, and taught me stuff that stood me really well in my career. So it was a bit of a risk, not a huge risk, but a bit of a risk, and it's been really good. So take every little opportunity. That's what I would say. And diversity as well in your career.
Yeah.
I think one of the things about cybersecurity is that in a lot of technical careers, there's a kind of break in your career where you have to think about either a managerial career or a technical career. I skipped the technical bit and I've got straight to the managerial bit in a way.
Yeah.
But if you're on a technical path and you're getting all those amazing qualifications and certifications, then you've got to think a little bit about whether you've got the diversity in your CV
Yes.
that's going to stand you in good stead for a future leadership role.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to jump from being the best SOC analyst to being a SOC manager because the skills are totally different.
Yes.
So find ways to diversify your skill set as early as you can,
Yeah.
so that when you come to your next promotion, your progression, you've got that rich set of
Back you
skills.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good
You
advice.
you made a point about like those small opportunities that you see. Do you think that comes with a mindset shift where you're positive about everything and the more positive you are, the more opportunities you see? Do you think are you a positive person? You see I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think I am.
Yeah. And have you always been positive, or again has that come with
Well,
time?
Friday afternoons when you're dealing with incidents, and no, not always positive, but I think you've. We could talk about resilience, couldn't we?
Yeah.
In cybersecurity, and I think positivity and resilience kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do for sure.
Working in cybersecurity can be really tough.
Yes.
For lots of reasons, as you say, all the kind of cultural things, but also we're in a position of trust.
Yeah.
We have to know everything about the whole business because we interfere with everything. So you've got to keep a very broad mind about your company that you work in.
And as a CISO, your name is actually on the line.
Yeah,
Like quite
exactly.
practically on the line. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So lots to think about in terms of what you're aiming for in your career and how you get there. We talked a little bit about goals and whether it's being a CISO is the end game.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't aim to be a CISO, not as a goal in itself.
Yes.
Aim to become a leader or a great manager or whatever it is. But as CISO, you have to be a bit mad to want to be a CISO, I think.
So I think we both realised that very early.
We both started off saying we're going to become CISOs, and then 2 years later we were like, yeah, maybe not.
No, exactly. Why would you?
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility, but I personally love that responsibility. I run towards the fire. I think in cybersecurity, you've got to like that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to have, you want to get your hands dirty and you want to be involved.
Yeah. And respected whilst you do that at the same time.
Ideally.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jonathan, we know we don't have enough women in the industry. But if you did have more women in your team or within the companies that you work at, within the cybersecurity function, how do you think that could improve ways of working or assist the business to make more money? What do you think? What would be the changes that women would bring?
So I don't want to fall into the trap of saying that the workplace would be friendlier, kinder, more communicative, pinker.
Yeah.
No, that's
Don't fall into the
not
trap.
what it's about. That's not what it's about. And for me, it's not about, this discussion is not about what do women bring to the business. For me, I'd flip that around and saying, how can the business offer opportunities to women to become their best selves and reach their potential? So the way I look at it is that, if some ex-military badass intelligence analyst wanted a job in the organization and she brought the right skills and experience, great. And, so, and that would give that opportunity. I don't think about it in terms of, well, women will make my workplace better. That's the wrong way of thinking about it.
Yes.
So for me, flip it around. What can the business offer women
Yes.
to make a better world for everybody?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think the assumption's correct when you started off and you said, people assume that we're going to be more caring and positive and happy all the time. And then when women come in and they're not that way, it's almost like, oh, who is she? We don't like her. Take her off the team. That's
Yeah.
not what we hired her to be.
Yeah. It's a language we use as well, like men are assertive and women can become bossy and that kind of thing as well.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've even had situations where I've been called sassy or
Oh, I hate that
and I'm
word.
like, what?
What? Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. But and what it is you know what you want and you know what the goal is and you know what you're working towards.
Exactly.
But that just hurts. So
And it hurts. And I think what it does to women, or at least what it did to me, you then do everything not to be sassy.
Exactly.
And you do everything not to just be perfect and say the right
yeah.
things. And it's like,
You self-censor, in effect.
yeah.
You self-censor,
absolutely.
yeah. And my role as a leader, I think, is to stop that self-censoring, or at least free
Can you
people up.
recognize it from a mile
Oh,
away then?
completely.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. I can see that all the time. And my role is to draw that out, remove those barriers, think
Yes.
about what it is that's going on in the workplace that stops people from fulfilling their potential. And very often, as you say, it's like microaggressions, the little things, completely unselfconscious.
Yeah.
So most men, they're part of this problem as well. They're trapped by this problem as well.
Yeah.
I've got a great guy in the team, high performer, doing really well, but he insists on calling our apprentices girls. Hi, girls. And I just shrivel up inside every time I hear it, No
Do
malintent
you
at
reply
all.
to him and say, yes, boy?
Exactly. Yeah, I do. All right, kids.
boy.
Okay, what's up? You can see that, though. It wouldn't be a problem for him. That's the annoying thing. It's quite hard to figure out.
Just one of the boys.
Exactly. It's hard. It's a hard problem. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is.
Yeah, especially when they don't see it themselves. So of course it is. Yeah.
The next question's completely, I guess, off the tracks. But a lot of our viewers and a lot of the people that get in touch with us are Gen Z. So one of the things I really like about Gen Z is that I feel like they know what they want. They all want to be rich. They want to get there quick. They want to be in
They
tech.
don't want 30K first
They do not
salaries.
want 30K first salaries. They want remote working. They really know what they want, and they're willing to take the risks that we were talking about earlier. What's your opinion of Gen Z?
Well-
Your daughter might be watching by this.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, my kids I guess, would qualify. So my reaction to that question is, I really kick against the generalization.
Oh yeah, that's a Jonathan answer, isn't it?
And I really do. Because I mean, I look at my great kids and I look at their friends and look at what's going on around. They're as diverse as anybody, So I struggle to categorize in that way,
Okay.
because there are perhaps traits that you could see, that can focus on, ambition is definitely strong.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But when I think back to, when I was starting work in the 90s, I could find loads of people like that as well. You think of the yuppie generation with their big telephones, that was no different really.
Yeah.
So I think it's a false category really.
Okay.
Okay, that's not
Good
answering.
answer.
Yeah, okay. It's a political answer. No, it's not. Okay.
And I think, again, for our viewers watching, how do you see the industry changing in the next 5 to 10 years? In fact, if you could have it your way, outside of just women, just the entire industry, what would you change about it?
Oh gosh. Well, in some ways, I don't think it's going to change that much.
Okay.
So I've been in the industry 10 years and watching it before that. In some ways, it's exactly the same as it always was.
Okay.
Okay.
So you still need strategy, you need policy, you need assurance, you need your operational team, you need your program team to do improvements. So broadly, those haven't changed. What
But
has
then-
changed though? What has changed?
AI, ChatGPT, technology. There's some changes there, and I think it could
Changes.
affect
Yeah, it could.
us in the
It
future.
could, of course. Yeah. But there's always been technology change.
Mm.
And cybersecurity is continually adapting to that change.
Yeah.
But the underlying model of cybersecurity is what I'm saying hasn't changed fundamentally.
So AI is not taking over everyone's jobs then? No?
I don't think so. I
I
think
hope you all heard that.
so. I think there are, again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I remember when Google first appeared on screens. I was in work when Google arrived.
Wow.
So I'll tell you another story, a little rabbit hole now. I used to have to collect the papers that came into the office that were the new policies. And I had to take the old policy out of the ring finder and put the new policy in. And I remember one page came in that said, it is now mandatory that you must read your emails once a week.
Wow. I
And
would
to
take
read
that.
your emails, I did them
Really good.
once a week because people were like, that new email thing, I'm not going to bother with that.
Okay.
That's what
It was
people
new.
say about AI.
And I had to
though.
go to the computer in the corner of the room and log into the computer to look at your emails at least once a week.
Yeah.
So I remember that arrival of email, and I remember the arrival of Google and this whole new thing. So the arrival of AI and ChatGPT and all these things is another tool. It's another step forward, another evolution of the tools that we've got.
Yes.
But fundamentally, cybersecurity is about people, not about tools.
Okay.
And those fundamentals don't change.
Okay.
However, I'm being a little bit flippant because, of course, things will change.
Mm-hmm.
There are loads of roles in cyber teams that are still very manual.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
still use PowerPoint and Excel. We have some automation, of course, now
Yes.
coming in. But people have been talking about automation for years.
Yeah.
Process automation has been
Yeah.
talked about for years, and it really hasn't done what it said on the tin.
No.
And I see AI as probably another step towards that in many respects.
Okay.
Okay.
In terms of how we use AI within cyber teams,
Yeah.
I think the where it gets really interesting is where we buy products that have got AI built into them. In the current work I'm in, there's no way we are going to be developing tools. We buy tools. Okay?
Yes.
So they are commoditized tools that will help us do our current jobs better.
Yep.
As fast as we do that, the cyber criminals are also using AI tools to attack us.
Yeah.
So that's why in some ways I say nothing changes because the bar just goes up and it shifts.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Almost cyclical.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
it's an arms race and we just keep going
Yeah.
up and up and up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think it'll get to a point where it'll be up?
I hope not. I hope not. I always think about it in terms of crime. So if you think about it, people used to steal cars
Mm.
by smashing the window and opening the lock and driving away.
Yeah.
And then the immobilizer was invented.
Mm-hmm.
And then people used to put big yellow locks on their steering wheels and all that kind of, and it just evolves, doesn't it?
Yes.
So now what's happening is people are now using radio frequency readers to read the car, the keys to steal the radio frequency to break into the car. So it's exactly the same in cybersecurity. Things just escalate all the time.
Sophistication. Yeah.
Sophistication, yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at the moment, cyber criminals have it easy. They don't have to try that hard to break into our organizations.
No. It's because we don't focus on the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
And the companies that do focus on the people get much further.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so Jonathan, if there is one thing you want people to take away from today, what would that be? What are your pearls of wisdom?
Oh gosh. Well,
No pressure there.
no pressure. No. Well, just I can't sell the career of cybersecurity enough.
Okay.
It's so diverse. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
That I'd love people to feel that there is a place for them, no matter what their background is or their experience is,
Yeah.
in a cybersecurity team. It's
Okay.
a great place to work.
Okay, well, you heard it from the CISO, the big dog himself.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Apply for those jobs.
And there's a role for everyone.
there really is. I've had a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I've actually got some insights for myself, like
Yes.
real
Brilliant.
life insights. Like I've just learned a lot about you, Jonathan. So we cannot thank you enough for your time.
Pleasure.
And don't stay away too long. We'll be happy to welcome you back at any point. So
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
And come back soon.
Thank you.
Cyber Sisters.